Hello, my name is Tariq Al-Burdukani, and today I'll be doing the final assignment for the Diversity and Inclusion course. So the first question is, now that I have completed the majority of this course, did this course meet my expectations? And now I'll provide examples and an explanation. Yes, this course actually met my expectations and in some areas exceeded them. I expected to gain a better understanding of the principles of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And the course provided clear, structured content that supported this. One part that stood out was a section on unconscious bias. It helped me recognize the subtle ways biases can influence decision-making and interpersonal interactions, even when intentions are good. The real-world examples and reflection exercises made it easier to see how these concepts apply in everyday workplace scenarios. Another impactful section was on inclusion communication. It offered practical strategies such as using gender-neutral language and being mindful of cultural differences, which I've already started incorporating into my daily interactions. Overall, the course helped reinforce the importance of creating a more inclusive environment and gave me tools to contribute positively to that goal. I appreciated that it went beyond theory and emphasized action and accountability. Now let's go for the second question. After completing the course so far, have my definition of diversity changed? What about my definition of inclusion? Provide definitions. Okay, so after completing the course, diversity, I now see diversity as not just the presence of differences, but also the recognition and valuing of those differences. It includes a broader range of dimensions, such as neurodiversity, socioeconomic status, sexual orientation, and lived experiences that contribute to unique perspective and strength. And for inclusion, it's more than just participation. It's about creating a culture where all individuals feel respected, heard, and empowered to contribute fully. It means removing barriers and actively fostering a sense of belonging and equity. This course challenged me to think more deeply about how diversity and inclusion are not just checkboxes or policies, but ongoing intentional practices. For example, learning about intersectionality and inclusive leadership helped me understand how layered identities impact people's experiences and how inclusion requires continuous effort, not just a one-time gesture. Last and final question will be, has my view of the world around me changed at all since I started this course? Okay, so for this one, yes, actually, my view of the world has changed since starting this course. Before the course, I was generally aware that people have different experiences based on their identity, but I didn't always see how deeply systemic and subtle some of those differences can be. The course helped me recognize how everyday interactions, policies, and assumptions can either include or exclude people, often without us realizing it. Let me give you some concrete examples. It's a workplace behavior. I now pay close attention to who is being heard in meetings and who may be getting overlooked. For example, I noticed that quieter team members or those from underrepresented groups sometimes hesitate to speak up. I've started actively creating space for them to share, even if that means checking in after meetings. Other example is the media and representation. I've also become more aware of the lack of representation in the media I consume, whether it's movies, news panels, or advertising. I now notice when certain voices are missing or stereotyped, something I didn't actively question before. Another example is everyday language. I've become more intentional about the words I use. For instance, I've stopped using phrases that could be unintentionally exclusive or outdated and instead opt for more inclusive, respectful languages. Overall, the course has expanded my perspective and made me more conscious of the experiences of others, especially those who navigate the world differently due to race, gender identity, ability, or background. It's made me more empathetic and proactive in creating inclusive spaces. Thank you so much for listening and have a great day.